The aliens expected easy victory. Then a Deathworlders Armada answered the distress call. The sky above Lyria Prime glowed red with the fires of burning cities. Smoke twisted into the thin atmosphere, drifting up into the darkening sky. From orbit, the Dominion fleet appeared as a line of black shapes, massive and silent, blotting out the stars. Commander Vectal stood on the bridge of his flagship, scanning the planet. The blackness of space above Lyria Prime was no longer empty. Hundreds of human ships moved in formation, glowing with lights that reflected off their armored hulls. Fighters zipped between the larger cruisers, their engines leaving blue trails across the void. The Dominion fleet hovered in orbit like a dark cloud, confident but already uneasy. On the bridge of the Resolute, Captain Jake Miller stood rigid, eyes fixed on the screen. "All ships, stay sharp," he said. "This is the moment we show the Dominion what humans can do. Every crew, every ship, follow your orders. Protect the planet. Hit them hard. Do not let them pass."
Maya Johnson worked at the tactical console beside him.
"Their skimmers are moving fast," she said. "They're trying to break through our outer defenses." Jake nodded. "Let them try. They'll find out. Humans don't give up easily. Fighters intercept. Bombers target their command ships. Every freighter. Use whatever weapons you have. Every hit counts." Far below, Lyria Prime shook as Dominion dropships attempted to land troops. Explosions rocked the cities as energy weapons cut through buildings. Civilians ran through rubble, searching for shelter, while the colony's defense squads tried to slow the invaders. Governor Lisa Carter moved through a makeshift command center, her calm voice giving orders. "Ryan, coordinate the local defense teams. Use the tunnels, barricades, and any traps you have. Buy time until our allies arrive. Every second matters. We're ready. We may not have the numbers, but we know the land. The Dominion will pay for every step they take." In orbit, the first skirmishes began. Human fighters darted between the Dominion skimmers, using speed and unpredictable moves to evade laser fire. Explosions lit the void as ships collided and energy shields flared. Even the civilian vessels, converted with makeshift weapons, fired upon the enemy. Their improvised attacks surprisingly effective. Captain Ben Harper's freighter, heavy and slow, moved into position. "Fire the kinetic cannons," he shouted. The ship shuddered as massive projectiles rocketed toward the enemy. One of the Dominion skimmers was hit directly, spinning out of control before exploding in a brilliant flash. "Direct hit," shouted Laura Fields, the engineer. "They didn't expect this from a freighter." "Yes," Ben said, a grim smile on his face. "They're going to learn. No human ship is weak if it fights for its own." On the Resolute, Jake watched the battle unfold. "Admiral Brooks, our bombers are ready to strike their command ship."
"Should we go?"
Brooks's face was calm but fierce.
"Yes."
"Get them together. Timing is everything. We take out their command, and the Dominion fleet will falter." "It's risky. That ship is heavily shielded." "One wrong move," Jake interrupted. "No wrong moves. Trust your training. Trust your instincts. We fight together or we fall together. Let's go." The bombers launched, darting through debris and enemy fire. Human fighters formed a protective screen, intercepting any Dominion skimmers that tried to stop them. The command ship loomed ahead, massive and dark, its energy shields glowing. "Focus on the shield generators," Jake ordered. "Once they go down, everything else is vulnerable." Explosions rocked the void as human bombs hit the generators, Sparks flew across the surface of the enemy ship, and alarms blared. The Dominion crew scrambled to repair the damage, but it was too late. One by one, the generators failed, and the shields flickered. Now! Brooke shouted. Energy cannons fired from every human ship in range. The command ship shuddered under the assault, sparks and fire spraying across its hull. It rocked violently, unable to maintain its position. In the chaos, Dominion dropships fell from orbit, crashing onto the surface below. Ground troops were cut off from reinforcements. Small squads of human soldiers, led by Commander Nate Parker, moved quickly through the streets, striking Dominion troops where they least expected. Nate crouched behind a crumbling wall, aiming his pulse rifle. "Move up! Don't let them regroup," he shouted. His squad pushed forward, throwing grenades and firing steadily. The Dominion soldiers faltered, not used to this level of resistance. On Lyria Prime, Governor Lisa Carter coordinated evacuations. Civilians, head to the underground shelters. Defense teams push them back, keep them away from the city center. Ryan Cole led a squad through a ruined building, firing at approaching enemies. "We can do this," he muttered. "We're not going to let them take our home." Back in orbit, the Dominion flagship was hit directly by a combined attack from human bombers and heavy ships. It groaned under the strain, smoke rising from its hull. Commander Vektal's voice shook as he shouted orders to his crew. "Repair the shields. Fire at will. Do not let them reach the surface." Lieutenant Corr shook his head. "Commander, we cannot hold them. They have the advantage. Their fleet is too large, too coordinated." Vektal's claws clenched. "Then we fight until the last. We will not surrender to humans. They will regret this." The battle intensified. Human fighters weaved between debris and enemy fire, taking out skimmers with precise shots. The converted freighters and mining ships fired heavy weapons, destroying enemy turrets and supply vessels. Even civilian crews adapted quickly, learning from each engagement, striking at weaknesses. Captain Jake Miller watched as the human armada slowly gained the upper hand. "Keep pressing," he said. "Every ship matters. Every crew matters. We will not lose." Maya Johnson adjusted targeting controls. "We're taking heavy fire, but the Dominion fleet is faltering. Their formation is breaking." Jake nodded. "Good. Focus on their command points. We break their nerve, and the rest will follow." On the planet, Commander Nate Parker's squad encountered a group of Dominion soldiers attempting to regroup. "They're trying to escape," he said. "Cut them off." The squad moved quickly, setting up ambush points. Pulse rifles fired. Grenades exploded, and the Dominion troops were forced to surrender or be destroyed. Civilians cheered from behind barricades as the humans regained ground. Governor Lisa Carter watched from a makeshift observation post. "We are winning," she said quietly. "The Armada is here, and we are fighting back. We may survive this after all." Meanwhile, Captain Ben Harper's freighter delivered another heavy strike on a Dominion cruiser. Sparks flew, engines failed, and the cruiser began drifting toward the planet, burning. "Direct hit again," Ben said. "They didn't expect this." In the midst of chaos, a small squad of Dominion elites boarded a human freighter. They attempted to take control, but the crew fought back. Engineers, scientists, and civilians defended their ship with improvised weapons, using every trick they knew. "We fight for our world," shouted one engineer, firing a plasma torch at an enemy. "You will not take it from us." The boarding party was defeated, and the freighter remained under human control. The Dominion learned quickly that humans would not surrender easily. Back in orbit, Admiral Brooks coordinated the final phase of the attack. Focus all fire on the remaining command ships, she said. The fleet will crumble once their leadership is gone. Jake Miller launched a daring assault, flying his fighter close to a Dominion battleship. He fired precise shots at weak points, dodging energy blasts. Sparks flew as the battleship shuddered and began to lose systems. "Keep pushing," Brooks shouted. "Do not let them regroup." The Dominion flagship groaned under the relentless human attack. Shields failed, weapon systems malfunctioned, and panic spread among the crew. Commander Vektal realized the fight was slipping away. "This cannot be happening," he growled. "Humans. They are stronger than I imagined." Lieutenant Corr said quietly, "Commander, you misjudged them. They are not weak. They fight because they survive. They fight because they protect each other. That is the difference." That clenched his fists. "Then we die fighting." On the planet, the Dominion ground troops were surrounded. Commander Nate Parker and his squads advanced, cutting off every escape route. Human fighters swooped down from orbit, targeting remaining vehicles and turrets. "Hold your ground," Nate shouted. "We finish this now." Civilians emerged cautiously, cheering as the last Dominion soldiers surrendered. Governor Lisa Carter moved through the streets, offering aid and comfort to those who were injured. "We did it," she said softly. "The Armada saved us. Humanity has shown its strength." Above, the human fleet regrouped. Ships bore damage but remained operational. The Armada had proven its power. The Dominion fleet, once confident, had been shattered. Captain Jake Miller looked at the battlefield below. "This is what happens when humans unite," he said. "We protect our own. We fight for each other. And no one underestimates us again."
Maya Johnson smiled.
They thought it would be easy. They were wrong. We are human, and humans survive. The Battle of Lyria Prime ended with the Dominion retreating into deep space. Battered and humiliated, the human armada remained above the planet, ready to ensure no further threat would approach. Governor Lisa Carter addressed the survivors, her voice steady and proud. "Today you have seen the courage of humanity. You have seen that we will never be easy to defeat. Lyria Prime is safe because of every human who answered the call. Remember this day. Remember the Armada." And in the darkness of space, human ships began repairs, tending to the wounded and preparing for what might come next. The Dominion had learned a lesson they would never forget. Humans were not fragile. Humans were Deathworlders. Humans fought to survive, and when they fought together, nothing could stop them. The battle was over. The fires of Lyria Prime still burned in places, smoke drifting lazily into the sky, but the Dominion fleet was gone, scattered and broken. On the planet, survivors began to emerge from shelters, blinking against the sunlight, overwhelmed by relief. Their homes were damaged, but they were alive. Governor Lisa Carter walked through the streets, helping people where she could. She held a small child in her arms, returning him to his mother, and offered water to those who were injured. Around her, soldiers and volunteers worked together to clear rubble, carry supplies, and care for the wounded. The city was scarred, but it was not defeated. Ryan Cole moved alongside her, coordinating the remaining defense teams. "We've held them off," he said quietly. "Lyria Prime survived." Lisa nodded. "Yes, and not just because of us. It was the Armada. They came when we needed them. They fought for us. That is humanity." Above the planet, the human fleet began to regroup. Ships that had been damaged in battle conducted repairs, while crews treated the wounded. Captain Jake Miller walked the deck of the Resolute, observing the activity. The ships were battered, some with hull breaches and scorch marks, but they had won. Every crew member was alive, proud and ready to continue. Admiral Karen Brooks addressed the assembled fleet. "The Dominion underestimated us," she said. "They believed humans were fragile, scattered, and easy to defeat. They were wrong. We fought together across thousands of miles, across every sector of human space, and we prevailed. Remember this day? Remember why we fight. Humanity does not fall easily." Maya Johnson stood beside Jake, watching as ships aligned in formation over the planet. "It's amazing," she said. "Hundreds of ships, all different, all from different worlds, working together. And we did it," Jake nodded. "That is what it means to be human. We survive because we protect each other. Every human ship, every crew, every volunteer mattered. That is strength the Dominion could not understand." On the ground, Commander Nate Parker moved through the city, checking on his squads. They had rounded up the remaining Dominion soldiers, who now surrendered without resistance. The humans had proven that even when outnumbered, they were unpredictable, clever, and unstoppable.
"Move them to the holding area," Nate ordered. "We'll make sure they cannot regroup."
"And we'll make sure they know what it means to face humans." Meanwhile, Governor Lisa Carter organized relief teams to assist civilians. "Bring water and food to the shelters," she said. "Check for injuries. Every person counts. We cannot let this disaster break us. We must rebuild." Across the planet, people began to work together. Neighbors helped neighbors, clearing debris, rebuilding homes, and comforting each other. Children played cautiously in open areas, their laughter returning slowly, a sign of hope. In orbit, the human armada remained for a while, ensuring that no Dominion ships returned to strike again. Captain Ben Harper piloted his freighter among the fleet, surveying the damage and the repairs underway. "We did it," he said quietly to Laura Fields, his engineer. "They thought we'd be easy targets. They thought we would run. And we didn't. We never run."
Laura smiled. "Humans, don't give up."
"We protect our own. That's why we survive. That's why we're strong." Far away, the Dominion commanders recorded the defeat. Commander Vekdal's voice trembled as he spoke to his subordinates. "We underestimated them. Humans are not weak. They are dangerous. They fight together. They protect each other. This cannot happen again." Lieutenant Corr remained silent, knowing his commander had learned the truth too late. "They are not just survivors," he said quietly. "They are Deathworlders. They fight for life. And when they fight together, nothing can stop them." Back on Lyria Prime, Governor Lisa Carter addressed the survivors in the city center. People gathered on the streets, their faces tired, smeared with soot and dust, but alive and proud. "Today," she said, her voice strong, "we faced an enemy that thought we were weak. They thought we were easy to defeat. But we have survived. We have survived because we are not alone. Humans are strongest when we protect each other. Today the Armada came and they fought for every one of us. Never forget this day. Never forget what it means to be human." Civilians cheered, some crying, others hugging loved ones. Soldiers and volunteers stood at attention, proud of what they had done. The battle had been won, but the lesson was clear. Humanity was not fragile. Humanity was united, fearless, and resilient. In orbit, Captain Jake Miller sent a message across the Armada. All ships returned to standard positions. We will remain in orbit for repairs and recovery. The Dominion has been driven back, but our watch continues. Humanity has proven its strength today, and every human in this fleet has shown courage, skill, and loyalty. We fought together, and we survived together. Maya Johnson watched as ships moved to repair docks and medical stations. "Do you think they'll try again?" she asked. Jake shook his head. "Not soon. They've learned their lesson. Humans are not easy to crush. We survive because we fight for each other. And they now know that. On the planet, civilians began the slow work of rebuilding. Homes were repaired, infrastructure restored, and families reunited. Volunteers and defense squads shared stories of the battle, teaching lessons about courage, unity, and clever thinking. Governor Lisa Carter walked through a rebuilt street, smiling as children ran past her. "We are alive," she said softly. "And we will continue to live, because humans never give up. We protect our own, and we fight together." Commander Nate Parker oversaw the remaining Dominion prisoners. "We must send a warning," he said. "Every enemy who survives must know what happens when humans unite. They underestimated us once. They will not again." Captain Ben Harper's freighter moved among the fleet, helping repair smaller ships.
"This was more than a battle," he said to Laura Fields. "This was a statement."
"We are humans. We fight. We survive. And we protect each other." Laura nodded. "And every world knows it now. Every human world, and soon, every alien fleet will know it. They cannot underestimate us again." In the Dominion command structure, Vectal's defeat became a lesson written in frustration. He recorded reports, warning other fleets, "Do not underestimate humans. They are not fragile. They fight to survive, and they fight for each other." Any attempt to conquer a human world will meet not resistance, but a storm of force from across human space. Back on Lyria Prime, Governor Lisa Carter and Ryan Cole walked along a river that had survived the battle, the water glinting in the sunlight. "It's quiet now," Ryan said. "Yes," Lisa replied. "For now. But humanity has shown its strength. We are not fragile. We are united. And we will protect each other no matter the cost." Above them, the human armada remained a visible reminder of power, of unity, and of hope. Civilian and military ships worked side by side, showing that humans were strongest when they worked together. Captain Jake Miller observed the planet from orbit, his eyes scanning the horizon. "We've won the battle," he said. "But the real victory is the message we send. Humans survive. Humans protect. Humans unite, and no one, no matter how strong, will ever underestimate us again." Maya Johnson joined him, smiling at the sight of the recovering planet. "It's beautiful," she said. "The people, the planet, the spirit of humanity." Jake nodded. "Yes, and it will only grow stronger. Lyria Prime is safe, and humanity's reputation has changed. Let every fleet, every world, every enemy remember, humans are not easy prey. Humans fight. Humans survive. Humans protect their own." On the planet, civilians celebrated quietly. Families reunited, communities rebuilt, and the story of the battle spread across every colony. Children learned that day what it meant to be human: courage, unity, and the will to survive against all odds. Commander Nate Parker gathered his squads one last time. "We fought for this world," he said. "We protected every life. Remember what we did here. Remember that humans never give up. That is our strength. That is our future." Governor Lisa Carter stood with her people, looking at the horizon. Today, humanity showed its true face. We are not fragile. We are united, and we fight together, no matter the cost. Let the galaxy remember. Lyria Prime. Let them remember what happens when humans rise to protect each other. Above the planet, the Armada slowly withdrew to safe orbit, leaving repair teams and medical vessels behind. The Dominion had retreated, wounded and humbled. Humanity had triumphed, and in the hearts of every human who fought, who survived, and who lived through that day, there was a single, simple truth. Humans are not fragile. Humans fight. Humans survive. Humans protect their own. And no enemy in the galaxy would ever forget it. Below, he had expected this to be an easy victory. He had expected the humans to surrender without a fight. After all, Lyria Prime was just a small colony, barely important in the eyes of the galaxy. "Prepare the orbital cannons," Ektal said, his voice sharp and cold. "They will bend before us. This world will fall within hours." Below, on the surface, Governor Lisa Carter walked through the streets of the capital city. Her boots crunching over broken glass. Buildings were crumbling under fire from Dominion skimmers. Fires burned in the streets, and the air smelled of smoke, metal, and fear. She paused to watch a small group of children running past, clutching their parents' hands, their faces streaked with soot. She swallowed hard.
"We can't hold them," said Ryan Cole, the colony's head of security.
He was tall and lean, with a quick mind and steady hands, but even he looked tense. "They have weapons we can't even imagine. Our defenses—" "It's not enough," said Lisa, nodded, trying not to show panic. She had spent years preparing for emergencies, but nothing could prepare a colony for the Dominion. "Then we do what we must. Send the distress signal." Ryan frowned. "Are you sure? That protocol, it hasn't been used in decades. It's only for true extinction-level threats." Lisa turned to him, her eyes firm. "It is an extinction-level threat, Ryan. If we don't do this, Lyria Prime will be wiped out."
Hundreds of thousands will die. Send the distress call.
We don't have a choice. In a nearby communications center, the old beacon system hummed to life.
Its lights blinked steadily as Ryan input the commands. The signal was strange, almost ancient, a protocol built before faster-than-light travel became common. It was a call for help, designed to reach the farthest corners of human space, a signal that promised the arrival of something more than just a few rescue ships. Far away in the coal black of space, the signal was detected by deep space patrols, scientific research vessels, and military fleets on exercises. On board the carrier Resolute, Captain Jake Miller was the first to recognize it. "This is no ordinary distress call," he said, standing beside his first officer, Maya Johnson. "This is a Deathworlder protocol. It's old, but effective. If it's real, Lyria Prime is in serious trouble."
Maya frowned, looking at the readouts.
"How bad is it?" Jake shook his head. "Bad enough that we have to respond immediately. Call Fleet Command. We're going in." Meanwhile, on Lyria Prime, the Dominion fleet began its assault. Dropships poured out of orbit and mechanized troops descended on the planet. Laser fire tore through buildings, while energy shields from the Dominion skimmers bounced harmlessly off walls. The humans fought back with small arms and improvised barricades, but it was hopeless. Lisa and Ryan moved through the chaos, helping evacuate civilians. They guided families to underground shelters, keeping their own fear hidden behind calm faces. Every explosion felt like it shook the ground beneath their feet, but they pressed on. Ryan paused at a collapsed building, lifting a beam to free a trapped woman. "Hold on," he shouted, sweat dripping down his face. With a heave, he pulled the beam away, revealing a frightened mother clutching a small child. "You're safe now," he said. Lisa glanced at the sky, where the Dominion ships hovered like vultures. "We have to buy time," she said. "If the Armada answers the call, they will need every second to reach us." Back on the Resolute, Jake Miller was already coordinating a response. The Armada was forming faster than anyone could have expected. Not just military ships, but industrial freighters carrying makeshift weapons, mining ships retrofitted for combat, and even civilian vessels joining the fight. Volunteers filled the ranks, ready to risk their lives for a world they had never seen. Jake studied the map of the human fleets. "They're coming," he said. "All of them. And they're going to hit the Dominion harder than they expect." The Dominion did not know what was coming. They had assumed the humans were scattered, weak, and unorganized. They had expected to sweep down on Lyria Prime and take it in hours. Commander Vectol paced on the bridge, frowning at the incoming sensor blips. "What is this?" he demanded. "Our scouts report hundreds of ships." "Hundreds? How is this possible?" Lieutenant Core replied, bowing slightly. "They have responded to the distress call, Commander. More ships are arriving from the human clusters across the sector. It seems they are gathering an armada." Vectal's eyes narrowed. "Impossible. Humans cannot organize this fast. They are fragile, untrained, scattered." "They are stronger than expected," Core said cautiously. The Dominion commander slammed his clawed hand against the console. "Then we will destroy them before they reach us. Fire everything. They will not interfere with our conquest." Back on the planet, civilians crowded into shelters, listening to the sounds of battle above. Some wept, some prayed, and some simply held their loved ones tightly, waiting for the end. Lisa walked among them, offering quiet words of comfort. She did not allow herself to cry. "Not yet." Suddenly, the ground shook with an enormous blast. One of the city's main towers collapsed in a shower of sparks and concrete. Children screamed, but Lisa remained calm.
"Keep moving," she said firmly. "We are not done yet."
"They're everywhere. How long can we last?" Lisa shook her head. "Long enough. The Armada is coming."
We just need to survive until they arrive. We need to hold on.
Hours passed, each one slower than the last. The Dominion troops pushed deeper into the cities, but the humans refused to give in.
Small squads fought back, using tunnels, traps, and the terrain to their advantage. Even against overwhelming odds, they delayed the enemy, buying precious time. From orbit, the first human ships began to appear, tiny at first, barely visible against the vastness of space. But as they drew closer, more and more ships followed. The Armada was larger than the Dominion had anticipated. Fighters, bombers, and massive warships formed a protective ring around Lyria Prime, blocking orbital strikes. Bechdel stared at the fleet, his confidence shaken. "This is not what we expected," he muttered. On the ground, Lisa watched the first flashes of energy from the human fleet as they engaged Dominion skimmers. Civilians cheered, tears streaming down their faces. Hope, fragile and bright, had returned. Ryan looked at Lisa, disbelief in his eyes. "They actually came," he said.
They always come when humans are in danger. That's what makes us
"Strong. That's what makes us worth protecting." In the distance, the Dominion dropships regrouped, preparing for a counterattack, but the humans, the so-called fragile species, had already changed the balance. The fight for Lyria Prime had only just begun. But one thing was clear: the Dominion had underestimated humanity, and that mistake would cost them dearly. As night fell, the fires on Lyria Prime burned brighter against the dark sky, but so did the lights of the human armada arriving from the void. And for the first time in hours, the people of the colony felt a spark of real hope. Captain Jake Miller's voice came over the comms to all ships. This is just the beginning. Stay sharp, stay together. Lyria Prime will not fall, not while we are here. The message echoed across the fleet and across the planet, reaching ears and hearts alike. The humans were coming. The fragile species was anything but weak, and the Dominion had no idea what was coming for them. Far from Lyria Prime, deep in the blackness of space, the distress signal traveled across light years. The signal was strong and strange, carrying an urgency that few had ever felt. For centuries, humans had used this protocol only in extreme cases, when colonies faced complete destruction. Now it had awakened fleets that had long trained, slept, and waited, scattered across the far reaches of human space. On board the carrier Resolute, Captain Jake Miller stood in the command center, his hands resting on the smooth railing as he looked at the holographic map. Blue dots and green shapes moved across the projection, representing hundreds of ships responding to the call. Every ship carried people who did not know Lyria Prime personally, yet they were willing to fight and die for it. "Look at this," Jake said to his first officer, Maya Johnson. "It's more than I expected. Hundreds of vessels. Entire fleets are moving." Maya nodded, her eyes scanning the incoming coordinates. "It's amazing." They all answered. Even the freighters and civilian ships are joining in. This isn't just a rescue. It's a full armada. We are the Deathworlders. We don't just defend. We strike back. They sent a signal, and now we will answer. Every human ship in range will join us. Across the void, other human commanders received the signal. Captain Ben Harper of the freighter Pioneer was one of the first to react. His ship was not designed for war. It carried cargo pods filled with minerals, not weapons. But the freighter's engines were strong, and its hull could be reinforced. Ben ordered his engineers to retrofit the ship for combat. "Get the kinetic launchers online," Ben told his chief engineer, Laura Fields. "We may not have lasers or shields, but we can hit hard. We can't wait for the fleet. We have to do what we can now." Laura nodded, wiping sweat from her forehead. "It's risky. The Dominion won't wait for us to prepare. But I like the odds better than running." Meanwhile, on the planet Sorrento Station, a research vessel called the Pathfinder was docked at the outer rim of the sector. Its crew was mostly scientists and technicians, not soldiers. Yet when the signal reached them, the captain, Sarah Blake, made a decision. "Everyone, listen," Sarah said firmly to her crew. "Lyria Prime is under attack. This is the reason we exist as humans. Prepare the ship."
We are leaving for battle.
They mounted experimental energy disruptors on the Pathfinder, turning lab equipment into weapons. Every human vessel, whether a freighter, a mining ship, or a research vessel, adapted. Every crew found a way to fight. Back on the Resolute, Jake Miller coordinated with the newly arriving ships. Communications buzzed with reports from every corner of the fleet. Fighters from small worlds reported readiness. Dropships were being loaded with troops. Even the civilian crews were readying themselves for battle. "This is incredible," Maya said. "I've never seen anything like it. Humans answering a call like this? It's inspiring." Jake smiled slightly. "It's more than inspiration. It's survival. The Dominion thinks they can crush us. They think we are weak. They don't know what it means to be human. They don't know Deathworlders." In the Dominion fleet, Commander Vectal watched his sensors nervously. He had been confident that Lyria Prime would fall in hours. Now, the readings showed human ships moving in numbers far beyond expectation.
This is unacceptable, Vectal growled. We must destroy them before they gather strength.
Fire everything. Cut them down before they reach orbit. Lieutenant Kor hesitated. Commander, they are already forming battle lines. Hundreds of ships. If we engage now, we may suffer heavy losses. Vectal's eyes flashed. Then we will suffer, Kor, but we will not let them interfere with our victory. Attack. Back in the human armada, Jake Miller and Admiral Karen Brooks, the overall commander of the responding fleets, began issuing orders.
Fighters, take positions ahead of the main fleet, Brooks said. Block Dominion skimmers from entering orbit.
Bombers, ready your payloads. Every freighter, every civilian vessel, prepare to fire.
Nothing stays idle. Maya Johnson monitored the fleets as they moved into formation.
We're bringing together ships that never trained together, she said. They don't know each other's signals, but somehow it's working. Jake looked at her. It always works. Humans have a way of finding each other when it matters. We protect our own. On Lyria Prime, Governor Lisa Carter received reports from the first skirmishes. Small Dominion ships that had tried to bypass the surface defenses were destroyed by the human vessels arriving from orbit. Civilians cheered when they saw explosions in the sky, though many still huddled in shelters, afraid for what would come next. Ryan Cole shook his head. I didn't think they would arrive in time, but it's happening. The Armada is here. Lisa nodded, hope brightening her face for the first time in days. We just have to hold a little longer. Help is here, and it will not let them win. Far away, Captain Ben Harper's freighter joined a small squadron of converted civilian ships. They moved in formation, firing improvised kinetic rounds at Dominion scouts. The skimmers were fast, but the freighters were heavy and resilient. Each hit made the Dominion pause, reassessing their attack. This isn't what they expected, Ben said, grinning at his crew. They thought we'd be easy targets. They thought humans would run. Look at them now. On the Resolute, Jake Miller received incoming communications from fleets he had never met. From captains across human space, every one of them was willing to fight for a planet they had never seen. This is what it means to be human, he said quietly. We survive because we protect each other. We survive because we never give up. Meanwhile, Admiral Brooks prepared the strategy for the approaching battle. She assigned positions for every ship, from massive cruisers to the smallest civilian crafts. The goal was to protect the planet, but also to hit the Dominion fleet in a way they would not expect. They think this is an easy victory, Brooks said to his staff. They don't know the Armada is not just about defense. It's about showing what humans can do when pushed to the edge. We will not give them a chance to win. In the Dominion flagship, Vectal's confidence was fading. Reports showed human ships intercepting dropships, cutting off reinforcements, and taking out orbital cannons. He had underestimated the response.
How is this possible?
He demanded.
They are weak.
They should not have strength. Kor bowed slightly. Commander, they are not weak. They are organized, determined, and adaptive. This is why humans survive even in the harshest conditions. They never give up. Vectal's claws clenched over the console. Then we will crush them. All of them. This is not over. Back on Lyria Prime, civilians watched as flashes of light appeared in the sky. The human armada was close now, and each explosion in orbit gave them hope. Children pressed their faces to the shelter walls, peering up at the fighting above. Adults whispered prayers or held hands tightly. Lisa Carter walked among them,
her voice calm and steady. "See that?" she said, pointing toward the sky. "They came. They came because we are human. They came to protect us." Ryan Cole looked at her, emotion in his eyes. "I don't know if the Dominion can survive this. The Armada, it's massive. They've never faced anything like it."
Lisa nodded, "and they never will again."
Humans don't give up. Humans don't run. And when one of us calls for help, the rest of us answer. In the Armada, Captain Jake Miller received reports from across the fleet. Every ship, every captain, every crew was ready to fight for Lyria Prime. Volunteers from distant colonies had even joined, bringing what they could: fighters, engineers, and supplies. It was a human effort on a scale the Dominion could not understand.
"Prepare to jump to Lyria Prime's orbit," Jake ordered. "This is the moment we show them what it means to underestimate humans."
Every ship, every crew, get ready. The fight begins now. Maya Johnson adjusted the controls, her fingers flying across the panel. They won't know what hit them. They think we are weak. They think we are easy. They have no idea. No, they don't. And when we hit, they will learn. Across space, the human armada moved as one, strange and untested, yet strong and determined. Every captain knew the stakes, every crew member understood the risk, and every ship was ready to protect Lyria Prime. Now, and far below, on the surface, the people of the colony waited, not knowing the scale of the force coming to save them. All they knew was that hope had returned. And in human hearts, hope was stronger than any weapon, faster than any ship, and deadlier than any army. The signal had been sent. The Armada had answered, and the Dominion, which had expected an easy victory, was about to face a force it could not imagine.